I was born in Newburyport, Massachusetts. My family moved to Weston. I had my bat mitzvah in Plantation. What really kind of kept me involved was that I did youth group with a lot of Jewish friends. But when I got into UF, I was really looking forward to that Jewish community, especially with UF being the public university that has the most Jewish students. One day, my friend, she said, "Come meet this rabbi." He was just full of life, full of energy, and he said, "We have all of these trips. Learn more about your Judaism, come hang and schmooze." From there was introducing what a traditional Shabbat meal looks like, learning from the beginning of Bereshis. It was such a perfect time. We can go there and feel grounded that like this is a family that can keep us close to like what it feels like to be at home. Did the first trip, which was Yehudi in Costa Rica. And we had a Shabbaton before the trip in Miami. We really did not use our phones for most of that trip, and we were so present in both the learning and all of the activities that we did, like zip lining or white water rafting. That summer, I went to Israel for the first time. That's when I tried to keep Shabbat, and I loved it. And 6 months ago, I did the second trip with Yehudi. We went to Majdanek, we went to Auschwitz, Helmno. We saw things that people really shouldn't see, but need to. In Poland, people could not be free Jews, and they had to die for it. That was like the turning point of like, wow, you realize that you can be like a free Jew, and like you're not exercising that, and it like hits really hard. Academically, I love school and I love learning. But there's no learning like Torah. One day I want a family, I want the practical knowledge. Yehudi is coming home physically, mentally, spiritually.
I grew up here in Hollywood. I had good Jewish parents, but like many Jews in America, didn't grow up with that strong Jewish education and assimilated into just mainstream American culture. In public schools, I tried to hide my Judaism. When I was at the University of Florida, I took religious studies classes, Christianity, Islam. Ironically, the one system I left out was the Jewish faith. That should have been the first place I looked, but during my time at the University of Florida, there wasn't a Yehudi. My junior year, I developed this passion for teaching. So I applied for a master's of education at Harvard University. Here I am, 25 years old. I haven't spent any time really discovering what it means to be Jewish. From there, for about a year there at Harvard, I was learning with a rabbi. He convinced me to go off to Israel for 2 weeks to learn. It was like a new world was opening up. For the first time in a long time, I felt connected to Judaism, to my own identity. During that time, I remember walking into this coffee shop in Yerushalayim, and there's Rabbi Stillerman and Rebbetzin Stillerman, and they invited me to a Shabbos meal when I got back. And it felt good because I'd spent that time in Eretz Yisrael, but I didn't know if this was the life I wanted to live. The next week, I show up at the Stillerman home for Shabbos. The simcha, the joy, the sense of family, tons of other people in the community. They really spent their time to get to know and to connect to. So I went from this Shabbos table to Shirim at the Yehudi Hub. I learned for 4 or 5 months with them in order to go on this phenomenal trip to Costa Rica. At the end of the trip, Rabbi Stillerman, he said, you have to make this experience meaningful going forward. That inspiration that I felt was the fuel I needed to take on more mitzvot, to continue learning. I'd become so inspired by the Yehudi programming. I wanted to take on more. You start by building yourself up as a human being, and then once you've built yourself up, you could share with others. What I needed to do was to go off and learn in Eretz Yisrael for an extended time. And had I not made that decision, I don't think I would be where I am today as a vice principal of a Jewish day school. This is the vision for education that I wanted to be a part of. This is my life calling. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Yehudi, who decided to invest in me. That decision to invest in me will have a ripple effect for the family I hope to build one day and beyond. This is my Yehudi story, but I'm just the tip of the iceberg.
Thanks to you, there's hundreds of Yehudi stories just like mine, with new ones unfolding every day.
People impact people.
The model is simple. Wherever there are young Jews, there needs to be a dedicated Yehudi couple, ready to educate and ready to inspire.
Thanks to you, there are Yehudi branches all over the state.
Thanks to you, there is a Yehudi branch servicing the young professional communities in Midtown, Edgewater, and Wynwood.
Thanks to you, we have a beautiful headquarters in Miami Beach, the Yehudi Hub. Thanks to you, more than 1,000 students will be attending Shabbos dinners, learning with Yehudi educators, and graduating from Yehudi fellowship programs.
With your continued help, Yehudi can expand and reach more of us.
Imagine 20 Yehudi branches, reaching thousands of Jews who could build the Jewish future. My University of Miami friends need Yehudi.
My University of South Florida friends in Tampa need Yehudi.
And tens of thousands of millennials in Fort Lauderdale, on Las Solas, South Beach, and Aventura all need Yehudi too. Today, what connects young Jews to Judaism is a personal connection.
The ability to ask and learn without judgment, and to connect to a community of Jews just like them.
Yehudi is opening eyes and inspiring a more Jewish future.
Be the future with Yehudi.
Be the future with Yehudi.